Hello everyone, it's Takasubo2 here, and for today, just recently, the Nintendo Direct presentation has just wrapped up about a few hours ago, and with that much time going by a little bit, it takes a bit of time for many to formulate their very own opinions and discussions about the latest presentation. There were a lot of mixed reactions, obviously from the point where many stated that there was too many RPGs, but I also see a few issues from the fact that this presentation is basically just like a farming simulator. There was a game, like the biggest example I think was Harvest Stella, I think that was one of them. But overall, in this video, I want to be talking about and discussing all of, most of the highlights that were shown off in the Nintendo Direct presentation. And in the very end of it, I will be talking about whether or not this presentation was either great, amazing, or good, or possibly just mediocre for all I know. But before I start, first of all, I will obviously not talk about every single highlight as I do want to be talking about the ones that are pretty huge, but also the ones that are kind of, mixed bag and had a bit of a negative reception from the community. And also, these are my thoughts and opinions, obviously. And so with that, let's not waste time. Let's get started discussing about all of the highlights for the Nintendo Direct presentation. First off, let's talk about the first thing they show off to start things off. The latest installment to the Fire Emblem franchise after Three Houses, Fire Emblem Engage, which I will say I'm very excited about this. About a few months ago, there was a rumor by Emily Rogers right before Three Hopes came out that alongside the development of that said Musou game, there was also another Fire Emblem game that was also in development and stated that the main protagonist was going to have a mix of blue and red hair. And by the looks of the box art and also the artwork, you can see that basically confirms it. But not only that, Mart also returns in the series, but not as like a major character, but more as a summoning. To which I did see some reception saying that having Mart as a summoning is a bit of a mixed bag. But to be honest, as a Fire Emblem fan who just played Three Houses a couple years ago, and has been engaged to the series since then, I do want to say that I am very excited about this. However, another thing that Nintendo did not tell you about Fire Emblem Engage is that there will also be another special edition coming along with it. Yep, that's right, another special edition just like what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Bayonetta 3. This time it is called Fire Emblem Engage Divine Edition. Here it includes the simple box art, the game along with its steelbook, some art cards, and also two big things, the art book and its official good looking poster. I always love the artwork for a lot of these stuff, and especially when it comes to Fire Emblem and RPGs and in general, when it comes to official artwork, that is one of my favorite things. This game will be coming out on January 20th, 2022, pretty early than I expected. I thought it would be around March or February, but January, I don't mind that at all. And plus, with a new Fire Emblem game coming up, you can tell that there's going to be a lot of, many fans saying a lot of negative stuff for Fire Emblem in general. Just saying, really. Just to keep up with the RPG hype, let's talk about the latest DLC character that will be coming out on October 13th for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass. Here we got ourselves a brand new challenge battle, which consists of, time attacks, and now a new hero that will be joining along your selection, Ino, who is a character that her whole body is very mechanical and stated to be an artificial blade. If you played any of the Xenoblade Chronicles games, then you would know what she means by that. For those who don't, then it can be a little confusing. This character will be arriving on October 13th, and we did get an official teaser on the third wave of this DLC expansion pass, which will be coming out, I think, next year. It did show right here. It showed the third wave, which will include the new hero and some more challenge battles. And with the third wave coming out next year, that only leaves the fourth wave with the new story. I really cannot wait to see what Monolith Soft's new story for the third game would be. I'm pretty much excited to get this new hero, but for now, I will not be getting the expansion pass because, for all we know, they're probably going to pull a Torna the Golden Country on us and just make the new story like a physical release for all I know. Let's keep the RPG hype going with two games being made by Square Enix. Final Fantasy VII Reunion Crisis Core, a prequel to Final Fantasy VII, and Octopath Traveler 2, the sequel to, well, Octopath Traveler. For Final Fantasy VII's prequel, which will be featuring our main character, Zack Fair, along with two beloved characters, Sephiroth and Cloud, this game will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch in December 13th. So, I mean, when this first got announced back at the whole, anniversary presentation for Final Fantasy VII, it was great to see that this game will also be coming to the Switch, to which some were thinking that the Final Fantasy VII remake game would also be coming to the Switch, which I highly doubt that's gonna happen unless it's a cloud version. Overall, if you are a huge fan of the character of Zack, and especially the Final Fantasy VII lore and story as a whole, then I highly recommend getting this game coming on December 13th. This is a remastered, however, and not exactly a remake, to which companies can get a little bit confused with the term remake and remaster, and that also goes the same for the community as well. I just want to mention that remasters are more than just changing up the entirety of the game, but not changing anything drastically. It's just more of an HD, thing. But a remake is basically like Final Fantasy VII Remake. They pretty much change a lot about things, but still keeps the story consistent to the original. That's all I had to mention that just in case. And as for Octopath Traveler 2, I've never played Octopath Traveler, sadly. I never played the first one. I may consider getting it, but given with the whole selection of RPGs coming for this year and next year, I may have to hold that game for a while now. But I do think that this game is pretty great, just by the looks of it, and I am happy for the Octopath Traveler fans who are getting a sequel to this game. Now let's talk about a bit of DLC, being free updates to be exact. First off is the free update for Mario Strikers Battle League. The first one came out back in July featuring Daisy and Shy Guy. Now this second update will now be featuring two characters, Diddy Kong and Pauline. I cannot believe Diddy Kong's coming back in an official Mario spin-off game. It is great to finally see him playable at some point. The last time he was, playable in a major spin-off Mario game was Mario Tennis Aces. No, Mario Kart Tour doesn't count, because I feel like he should have been from Mario Kart 8 to begin with. Overall, it's great to finally see, Diddy Kong back, and it's great to see that Donkey Kong is not alone this time. And as for Pauline, come on, given how this game, ever since this game was announced, it was pretty obvious that Pauline was gonna get added at some point. It was just gonna be a matter of time or when this character was gonna get added. They still haven't given updates on whether or not there will be more DLC characters for next year, but since they didn't say anything, I think it's safe to say that the third DLC update will be coming out as our last update for Strikers Battle League, which is a shame because that only leaves two characters of many, playable characters from the past Mario series. It could be Bowser Jr. or Dry Bones, maybe Toadette, who knows at that point, but this update will be coming out this month. They haven't exactly stated when this month. I assume it's either late September, but that's just my prediction. Another DLC thing they did stated is the announcement of the third wave for Mario Kart 8's Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Yesterday, I predicted that they were gonna tell us more ahead of time on what's coming up for the wave, so many fans would not be impatient about, waiting this long, because after the first wave came out, there was a whole lot of discussion of whether or not Wave 2 was coming out or not. And now, Wave 3 has now been shown off, which will be coming out this holiday of 2022. So far, they only show 2 out of the 8 tracks, being Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour, and surprisingly, Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS. I was surprised that out of all of the DS courses they chose Peach Gardens. I would have at least preferred Airship Fortress, but, Peach Gardens is not that bad. I do like the course style of it, and especially the layout as well, so I am a little interested in how they're supposed to do this. Overall, the third wave will not be coming out until this holiday. It could be either in November or December, but hey, at least Nintendo let us know ahead of time on when the third wave is gonna come out. Now let's talk about two not so great announcements that got a little bit of bad reception from the fans. First off, being the golf sport, which was supposed to be coming out this fall, for Nintendo Switch Sports, and it has been quite a while since that game came out in April, and now suddenly the golf sport is now been delayed somehow to holiday of 2022. So my question is, Nintendo, why exactly did golf get delayed? It's just golf. I'm kind of confused on this, and I know many fans are very upset about this whole announcement, given how ever since Switch Sports was announced to have a free updates module, and the fact that it was only 6 sports at launch, and now with golf now being delayed from fall to suddenly holiday, it definitely leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths, especially me, given how I waited patiently for golf to come back to Switch Sports in like a while. And another not so great update is the Resident Evil series, being from Resident Evil Remake 2 and 3 and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, these are actually cloud versions. I have Resident Evil 4 on my Switch at the moment. However, these 4 games, including Resident Evil 8 as well, because not only did they announce these games, they also announced Resident Evil Village as well. I was surprised that they decided to announce Resident Evil Village to be coming to the Switch, but however, I did state it that this is cloud version. If you do not know what a cloud version is simply, you have to have very strong internet, and you cannot play this game natively, like anywhere, anytime. Because with most Nintendo Switch games, you can basically play the game anytime and anywhere without any needs of internet. The cloud version doesn't let you do that, and is instead supposed to be there for the sake of having, because, to be fair, games like this happened before. This happened with Resident Evil 3 Remake a while back, but it's also happened with the Kingdom Hearts series, to which I know many didn't like that addition. But unlike that game, for Resident Evil, I guess it makes sense, because it seems that it couldn't really handle that much of a because who knows how much gigabyte storage the Switch can handle when it comes to these giant PS4 games. But then again, The Witcher 3 existed, especially No Man's Sky and Doom Eternal, but I'm just saying, the cloud version, if you do not want to get this game at all, then I highly recommend just getting the regular version for your PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Now, to give us more hype for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, they decided to show a bit of gameplay footage, especially from the newest villain known as Cursa, to which I think we can all agree that the Cursa is basically Rosalina. This is just a quick segment for those who are still hype about Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, especially with the upcoming DLC of Rayman as well. Now, here's a remaster that I didn't expect. Tales of Symphonia. I don't know much about the Tales of series, but the fact that this game is getting a remaster on the Switch genuinely surprises me. And, maybe, since I am an RPG fan, I could pick this up for all I know. Plus, after all, with the Tales of series, and for all we know, with this getting a remastered, this could basically be another revitalization of having a series revived after many years. Yeah, Tales of Arise existed, but Tales of Symphonia is definitely a must-pick for those who are interested in RPGs. I could definitely get it if I had the chance. Now, next up is talking about more of the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online. Here they'll be adding more Nintendo 64 games throughout the rest of the year and 2023. In this announcement, they announced all 3 Mario Party games from Mario Party 1 through 3 coming, with the first game coming out this year, and I think 2 and 3 coming out next year. I think Mario Party 3 is supposed to come next year, while Mario Party 1 and 2 will be this year, along with other games like Pilot Wing 64, 1080 Degree Snowboarding, Excite by 64, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, to which I'm not sure how that's even possible without this transfer pack, and finally, the biggest announcement they showed off at the very end of it, GoldenEye 007. Yep, that's right, James Bond is back into your collection, and if you want to be like James Bond, then GoldenEye 007 will be added next year at some point for the expansion pass, so that's definitely great. Now, here's an announcement that I didn't expect, but at the same time, I feel like I should kinda expect this. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, a game that first released back in the Nintendo Wii, is now getting a remaster, or I guess a brand new port on the Switch, known as Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I didn't expect another Kirby game already. Like, we just got Kirby's Dream Buffet, like, last month, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land this March, and now we're getting another Kirby game, which will be coming out on February 24th, 2023. This game you can play this game with up to 4 players from characters from Meta Knight, Bandana Walla D, and King Dedede, who strangely enough has his latest design from Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and also trying to help the character Magolor, which also includes a brand new copy ability, the Mecha copy ability. I didn't, like I said, no, I don't think anybody expected another Kirby game, but at the same time, given how much love they give to this character, I think it's no surprise that they decided to make another port of a game that was released back in the Wii. And now, for the biggest announcement they showed off at the end, the one that many have been waiting about ever since it was delayed, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Not only do we get a brand new name, but also an official release date. The game is now called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This is genuinely an interesting name. I really love the name of it. And also, they did show up the official artwork, which is also the box art for the game as well, to which I'm very excited to pick this up. And this will be coming out on next year on May 12th, 2023, which is coincidentally 10 days after my birthday. So for all I know, I could just pre-order it and get it 10 days later after my birthday. So hey, happy early birthday to me, I guess. But overall, finally, we got ourselves an official title for Breath of the Wild, for the sequel of Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't really call this a sequel at that point, and instead, I just kind of want to call it by its name. So now, we officially got a name for the newest Zelda game, and especially an official release date. I'm excited to play this game next year, and especially when it's 10 days after my birthday. So overall, what do I really think about the Nintendo Direct as a whole? So, there were some downsides, such as from the fact that the latest Resident Evil games, from Resident Evil 2 Remake and 3, Biohazard and 7, and especially with Resident Evil 8 being cloud versions, Nintendo Switch Sports Golf getting delayed for some reason, it definitely leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I actually forgot to mention that I forgot one big announcement, and that was Pikmin 4. I sort of forgot to mention that throughout the video. So yeah, Pikmin 4 is another thing, and also, they did not mention the Mario movie at all. Well, they did mention the Mario movie, but they did not show a trailer for it. So we gotta have to wait a bit more longer to see an official trailer for that until it comes out next April, for all we know. So overall, I do think I will give this a direct an 8.5 out of 10. There were some great ones, and there were some that I felt that it was okay by me. So I want to know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. What do you all think of the latest Nintendo Direct presentation? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or do you think it could have been better? I want to know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend. Like a Hellcat.